Okay, let's check this out. This is from Poplitics. Why Gen Z and millennials are no longer dating. Let's see what the mainstream probably has to say. Of course, YouTube.
A single girl out here in these streets and you're thinking, am I crazy? Or are these guys like not even wanting to date and hook up, let alone get married?
Am I the problem?
Are we why these men don't want to get married? Ugh. I have good news and bad news. The good news is you're not crazy. The bad news is it's worse than you thought. The very minuscule amount of kingpin level good men, the ones that are actually husband material, are almost certainly already married, about to be, or here's your very grim reality check, rotting away to near extinction.
That's the worst picture to choose for near extinction. Says Cristiano Ronaldo takes extreme measures to not marry his girlfriend. Haha. He already used a surrogate for, I think, 2 kids. So he's got 2 kids for sure, at least 1. And a man of his status is not going to try to settle down, or at least financially. Sorry. He may be with one woman at a time. So in the essence of being with one woman, it's all the same. But he does not want to risk everything you've built, all the hard work. He's on the field kicking the ball. He's scoring the goals. He's putting in time at practice. He's eating clean. He's doing all that stuff that has earned him billions. I think he has like $1 billion deal with Nike or something. So that a woman can come in, enjoy the lifestyle, decide she's bored, and take off with hundreds of millions. Not only is this dude handsome as hell, but he's rich as hell. And he's one of the richest athletes in the world. No, it's not extreme measures. It's extreme for the mainstream. Change the laws. It's that simple.
Away to near extinction.
There goes our last mail.
Oh my God, I hate Alex Clark. She's so dramatic.
Am I?
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
Turns out the large majority of men 18 to 30 years old are...
America's Lonely Male Hearts Club records 63% of men in their 20s are single, almost double the number of women. With end of traditional masculine roles, porn, and COVID blamed for stark rise. Oh, this is a more recent one. So we've already risen to 63%. I think that number is higher, man. I think the real number, if they could do actual, solid reporting on this, is probably closer to the Pareto principle of 80-20. I bet you 80% of men in their 20s are probably single. Of those single men, how many percentage-wise do you think is from choice? I would say the Pareto principle probably works again in reality. Of the single men, probably 80% of them is because women don't choose them at all. So 20% of those men, of the single men, are just choosing to be in the hookup, culture and not commit, but are actively having sex, therefore not single in that sense of the word. Lonely. Wow.
Single by choice. You're not crazy after all. Don't believe me? A new Pew Research study found that 63% of men don't want to pursue any sort of relationship with women. That means serious or casual. They literally feel no motivation to leave their house. Period. Things are bad when guys think a booty call is too much work. The evidence points to some very specific problems. I've seen multiple conservative commentators speculate about what they think is the root of this shift, and no surprise, they're wrong. Let me tell you something about 99% of female commentators on the right who talk about dating, culture, and relationships. Hardly any of them have had significant real-world experience with dating, culture, and relationships. They think they're too highbrow for dating apps.
We're disgusting, and I hate you.
They marry the first or second guy they've made eye contact with, and
it's already getting woke. Here we go. So in order for you to be experienced on this topic, it already begins with, because you didn't get on hookup apps like me, because you haven't been pumped and dumped, because you haven't been in these short-term relationships, you have no idea what you're talking about. Because you married the second guy you've ever met and you've been happily married, and telling people to do the same as you, has a ring, has a family, has children, everything. Those are the people you shouldn't listen to. Let me tell you, I'm the street queen with experience here. Hold on.
Their understanding on what it's actually like out here is, hate to say it, no I don't, derived from tradwife Twitter accounts secretly run by gay men trying to catfish straight ones.
There's the crazy. Did you see it? That should be part of the thumbnail. Just look at the crazy. Look. You can see this eyes just dying to twitch. This is somebody coping hard with the decisions they've had in life. And it already started that way, right? Because in the very beginning, it's vast majority of men are just shit. Remember? It already started that way. Most men, all the good ones are taken.
Catfish straight ones. I know why men have lost all incentive to pursue any type of companionship with anyone with a heartbeat. And I think we should all be very perturbed about what this means for future generations. And no, the answer is a lot more layered than just porn is bad. Today, women are...
Oh, is she ever gonna say it's because women... It's because the laws. Are we gonna get any real answers, or we're just gonna blame video games porn? Those all have, an effect. But are we going to hear about the laws, and are we going to hear about women? Because what man wants to get married, risk half his assets for a woman that's out active in the streets, or at least has been?
Smarter, we're graduating college at higher rates than guys, and I know women don't like to admit it, but we are, by and large, making more money. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not poor.
I knew it. It's insecurity. There it is. All it is that we just make more money than you. There we go. So this whole video is going to teach us absolutely nothing. Here we go.
We spent half a century telling men that the future was female and that women allegedly didn't need to rely on men for anything.
We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death. We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup.
This is why marriage with Western women doesn't work, because they all think it's a competition to be in a relationship. They think they call it emotional labor. Not a single woman, probably in this video, ever mentions children, ever mentions a legacy, ever mentions raising kids, uses the word us and we. It's always I, and you. All right, man. Don't worry. It's because they make more money. That's the actual problem.
No woman wants that.
Naturally, men started to harbor this sense of hopelessness where it felt like I'm never going to be able to meet women's increasingly high standards and expectations anyway. So the first shoe to drop was men thinking it's acceptable to get complacent. If women are doing all this work, why should I? Now, for a little while, that was fun for the men because we're climbing the ladder ourselves. We're screaming, we can do bad all by myself.
You have a problem with that?
No, I just my grandmother's 90th birthday, so I was gonna go home and it's fine, I'll cancel.
So the men are like, okay, bet. They begin to lose that motivation to achieve and be a provider for a purpose bigger than themselves.
Why are you single?
I have kind of given up on trying to put in the effort.
A man's instinct to be a hero and to achieve is tied directly to how men show their love. Since the beginning of time, men have hunted and women were the gatherers and helpers. We switched this up as women and insisted that we can hunt instead, leaving men feeling confused and purposeless. In an act that drives men further into disorientation, women have chosen to blur the line between masculine and feminine energies. Recognizing the different roles men and women were biologically hardwired to play does not mean that women must surrender our equality. It just means that men are motivated by the opportunity to show themselves as competitive, daring, adventurous, courageous in achieving. But we have made them feel like these traits are no longer valued because women have chosen to demonstrate those traits ourselves. Instead, women should be secure enough to both praise men for these traits while knowing how to soften into our true feminine essence, which creates balance and peace needed for a healthy relationship. Women should embrace our traditionally feminine traits.
Let's see here. Have you seen the newest graph showing white women on antidepressants versus white males and others? Crazy stuff. They are depressed and lonely after believing the lies. They don't need a man or family in their lives. I don't doubt it at all, dude. Mental health should be at the top of political discourse today. The fact that we have so many broken homes in society, which leads to mental health issues, which spills over into public safety. How many more tragedies in America do we need? But they'll always blame it on something else. The scapegoat will be, say, guns, video games, porn, whatever else. Team Red or Team Blue is going to blame something or the other, TikTok, whatever it is. But we don't talk about the family structure. We don't talk about multi-generational homes. We don't talk about the nuclear family. We don't talk about the economic disparity that's making it impossible to even raise kids. We don't talk about the inflation and the stagnant wages that makes it impossible to even own a home. We just saw the prior video where it's $5 million to buy something that looks like it houses crackheads and homeless people. And they want you to start a family on top of all this. Okay, dude. Oh, and by the way, we're going to send your kid to school, and then we're going to indoctrinate them with a certain ideology, and they're going to come back home where the state's going to take your kid if you don't affirm their idea. So all the money I put in my seed to make sure they grow strong and do well in the world can get taken away because some nut job teacher is going to teach them something that they shouldn't be. That's not part of the curriculum. Teach them how to read, teach them how to do math, teach them about history, teach them philosophy, teach them that stuff. Why are we talking about other ideologies that have nothing to do with anything in the real world? But, this is where we're at today.
That can perfectly complement those of men. Nurturance, sensitivity, sweetness, supportiveness, gentleness, warmth, expressiveness, empathy, affection, and tenderness. I'd like to think that I'm a fair and nuanced person. I believe that I am capable of seeing both sides in pretty much anything. And another cultural thorn that women need to take some responsibility for is that we've decided as a gender that personal development is apparently a non-issue. Most of us have a God complex that is being fueled by toxic therapy culture, which is ironically making us worse, not better. Young women have been brainwashed into thinking that we're perfect exactly the way we are, no matter how fat, lazy, mentally ill that could be.
You'll feel it soon.
I won't. I told you, okay? Endorphins don't work on me. And anything that's ever promised to your runner's high is full of
Yeah, just the softness in society today is so disgusting. And of course, the most privileged among us women, unfortunately, live the softest lives where we, tippy-toe around them, walking on eggshells. You can't tell her she looks fat because that's fat phobic and you're a misogynist. Anything that critiques a woman is automatically misogyny today. So if you look at women in America versus, say, women in Eastern Europe, hell, even Western Europe versus Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia, you'll see most of them are extremely feminine, very skinny, know how to cook and clean, want a man, want kids, want to raise a family, want to do feminine things traditionally, as opposed to what do you bring to the table? Me, I'm not interested in raising a kid. You're looking for a mom. Nobody talks like that. First of all, no woman is going to give a man the time of day that's trying to look for a mommy. Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe and other more traditional parts of the world, they look for men. They look for masculine qualities. Most of the men you're dating aren't masculine. That's the issue. You're dating bums. If all you do is play video games all day, if all you do is jacket all day, if you just sit in your house and watch Netflix all day, if you have nothing going for you, and the women pick that, then who's at fault? All these chicks on TikTok and all this are complaining about men and they're picking the wrong ones. Meanwhile, there's guys like, yeah, I got a job. I make 6 figures, but I'm a plumber. I own my own business. But then they hear that part, I'm a plumber. And they go, not interested. I'd rather take the Chad that's 6 feet, has abs, lives with his mom, plays video games. He's hot. Done.
It has propelled the sin of self-obsession and created a barrier preventing us from considering any other possibility other than they want to hurt me, they're out to get me. Anyone that attempts to hold us to a higher standard is toxic and emotionally abusive. You're not my supervisor! The glorification of hyper-selfishness propagandized us into the belief that every last one of us is a 9 or 10.
Ask the ladies to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
I'd say I'm a 10. 10. 10. 10.
Don't you guys think it's a bit delusional to rate yourself as a 10?
This is perfect. I have to find this video. This is absolute perfection here. Hold on. Certified baddie. Yes. God bless, whatever.
What? So
it's very much full time.
What is that?
Oh, yes, it is.
What?
Yeah.
Very much full
Yes. I can't believe they found this person.
Clips. Guys, get us to 100K on that channel so we get another YouTube plat. What?
It's
So
very much full time.
what does that mean? Can you explain that?
It's just a lifestyle. Like I mean, if you get it, you get it. The rules are there. I mean, I feel like every woman can be a certified baddie. It's just the mindset, and it's a full-time job.
But if you had, if there was if there was a dictionary and you were hired by Webster's to define certified bad bitch, is that what it is?
Yes.
What would be the dictionary definition of a certified bad bitch?
I would have to say, I mean, if I'm toning it down completely, just a woman who's confident in herself, does whatever she wants for herself, nobody else, just woman, whatever.
What the hell?
Whatever, anybody can be a certified bad bitch. I think it's just the level of confidence, and it's the mindset for sure.
Is that the occupation you list on your taxes?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Very much that. Very much the vibes.
Okay, good times. What about you?
Oh my God!
It's over for the West. Go ahead and call it. GG, no re. Just call it. Go ahead.
So y'all are perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, bruv, come on.
Every girl is a 10.
I don't.
Every woman's a 10? Is every guy a 10?
No, absolutely not.
Hold on. Whoa.
The lie is so pervasive that we not only lie to ourselves, we lie to each other.
You are physically flawless.
Because of all this lying, we only entertain interest from men who are 9s or 10s. But realistically, we're likely only 6s and 7s ourselves. And ladies, you know I'm right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna rate you guys, but none of you are a 10.
Women are operating in such a high level of delusion that we'll refuse to date our own level or lower while simultaneously strong-arming men into dating down, something that we're not even willing to do ourselves.
If you want a boyfriend, you have to drop your standard. You have to settle to be in a relationship. You have to settle for something less.
I don't think it's settling, though, because what's going on is you have average women that don't want to date.
Ain't no way I'm hearing and seeing Kirby the Hut saying that. Oh, you did indeed, brother. Yes, you did. Oh, man.
Average men.
We project and accuse men of being superficial, but modern women are the most superficial beings to ever exist.
Men are so superficial.
Would you date a guy that's shorter than you?
Absolutely not.
What has happened is women have cut out 98% of the potential dating pool and convinced themselves that they're cool sharing the top 2% of men because we'd rather perpetually be in the talking stage with a 10 than having a meaningful, fulfilling, and monogamous relationship with a 7.
If you can't accurately assess, here's how attractive I actually am, you're going to keep chasing after men that they're going to have an accurate assessment of what you look like, and they're going to say, I'll hook up with this girl, I'm never going to commit to her, I'll keep her along and keep her, I'll never give her commitment.
According to Tinder data, while men swipe right on 40% of women on average, this number is only 7% for women. No wonder men feel like dating.
You know what's crazy? So I've opened up all the dating apps, made profiles, trying to compile data. Just the difference between when I was actually using them in college versus today is mind-blowing. The amount of low-quality suitors is wild. Not only that, but I'm seeing, how do I put this in a friendly way? Biological mismatches in the profiles. I'm searching for women only. I'm trying to get data to make a video, but I'm being matched with people that say that they're women. There's a ton of those. It's actually wild. There's nothing these dating apps could even do to filter these people out that say that they are a gender while they're biologically something else. It's crazy. The radicalization on dating apps as well. If you're a Republican, go ahead and swipe left. If you're a libtard, go ahead and swipe left. It's wild, man. That stuff never existed. Like people talking about politics or putting them on their profile or caring about that didn't exist back then. And this, I'm talking like back then. Well, this wasn't even long ago. Alex, thanks, brother. Man, go find real accountability, level yourself up meaningfully, and get your passports. Yeah. The game has changed completely, man. It's scary. Yeah, identity politics has completely taken over dating apps too. Sheesh.
Is completely pointless. For the guys left barely hanging on, it feels nothing short of fatalistic. If a guy tries to embrace his masculinity and show chivalry, it's deemed toxic at best, sexual harassment at worst.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've been in a terrible car accident. My legs are pinned under the car, and I can't reach to get my phone. Can you please get some help?
Are you serious? I have a boyfriend.
And it gets bleaker because men today are financially incentivized to not pursue marriage.
Are you single?
Actually, yes.
Why are you single?
Because it's expensive.
Women are 70% more likely to initiate divorce, according to the American Sociological Association. Men know if they choose the wrong woman, it will end in divorce. And the research shows that she will be the one to benefit, not him. While both spouses lose, men typically suffer a larger hit because of child support and alimony. Men are looking at this and weighing the risks, and the unfortunate reality for women is that instead of seeing these statistics and thinking, okay, true love in a family is a pro that outweighs the con, they opt out of the equation entirely. Men are more willing to put up with loneliness because in their mind, they'll still get to keep their money and dignity. Plus, thanks to the pandemic, they have learned that they can also get all of their sexual and self-esteem needs met without leaving their couch. Confidence is boosted through comments, likes, and retweets on social media. Sexual needs are met through pornography. Why would men feel motivated to go to bars, for example, to spend their money on drinks for women who may or may not even be interested?
There's a lot of bars in New York City.
You go up to someone in a bar, they're like, why are you talking to me?
You can cut to the chase with pornography, and many men took advantage of the opportunity in lockdown. Fast forward 2 years later, the habit has been formed, and the men are drastically different. The false identity of women and the increasing apathy of men, to say the least, is literally adding up to human extinction at this point.
Gen Z doesn't want to get married. As younger generations redefine monogamy, you're going to see high quality men, high value men with multiple women, and then you're going to see low quality women with multiple men. We're already starting to see that, where the bottom of the barrel in society, instead of being lonely, men at the bottom are going to start choosing to share women. And so these below average women at the bottom are going to have 3, 4, 5 boyfriends. And you'll see it's the soy, like WEF looking, skinny fat body. They like their bug sandwiches and Beyond Meat, all that stuff. That's how they look. Like from that one article we saw where that one chick had 4 or 5 boyfriends. And then you'll get the reverse at the tippy top of society, where men are hoarding like the highest quality women. And it's a battle just to get those. Because demand is going to be so lopsided in each direction at the top and the bottom. Forget love, respect is what to strive for, indeed. There's not enough high value men, so they command a lion's share of the women at the top, and women will be more than willing to share them. We're already seeing that in society today. And at the very bottom, where men aren't in demand at all, and women are in high demand, even low-quality, any woman, they're willing to share them. Yeah, polyamorous, polygamy, all that stuff. And this doesn't take into account, by the way, the even lower rung of men that won't be able to secure even a shared woman. So they're going to be at the very bottom, something with like replica AI, where they're okay being with a chat bot that's probably infused into a sex doll. Whew. It's looking grim. It is looking grim.
Gen Z and young millennials are just not getting married.
And by the way, for men, there is an option. If you strive to self-improve and you get good enough. And by the way, I know good enough is subjective, but in the world we live in today, good enough is not much. The average man is a shell of what men are in general. So if you improve enough, you can go overseas and meet a traditionally minded woman and start a family and be just fine. That doesn't work for women. And it's cool seeing them project about sex tourism on men. But every single woman, typically older as well, I shouldn't say every single, most women that get their passports to go overseas for love are actually engaging in that tourism themselves. They're actually going overseas to get a little boy toy, and that is guaranteed to never work. That relationship won't last. That's just, you're not going to get a man from overseas to settle with a 40, 50-year-old woman and start a family with a geriatric pregnancy. She's probably already coming there having kids already. It's no benefit for the man other than short-term financial interest. So what they're accusing men of, what they're shaming men for, is what they're actually doing. Yeah, quote, getting their groove back. Exactly. That's what it is. The way society is headed, I'm telling you, like we covered in that one AI video, digital pimping is the next step. You can't save all these men. Simping is an epidemic. It's only going to get worse and worse. And what you want to do, if you wanted to, as a side hustle, start learning AI and start learning how to set that up on OnlyFans and make an Instagram and do fake AI posts, have the chatbot engage. And you can be a digital pimp that doesn't even involve a woman whatsoever. You could just be pimping AIs and people will fall in love with them. Replica paved the way. Replica AI paved the way. It was like a test that showed exactly the depths people will go to for some intimacy. It was just a chatbot and they fell in love with it. It was like a proof of concept. It's there, it works, people are more than willing. And you can pimp that bot out in the most insane way. You can have them pay $10 to change the outfit, $100 to do a scene. Possibilities are endless. It's what your mind allows. Yeah. Oh, and they're definitely going to, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Dara. It's going to be exploitation / trafficking free. Yes, it's moral pimping. Don't you know?
Are living through a serious crisis. The eligible bachelors are buying pretend land in the metaverse and subscribing to the OnlyFans of the girl next door. They aren't building a house or a life beyond the digital landscape because we've done a horrible job as women making commitment and marriage look like a
That's probably the best take she has in this whole video. It happened at 11 minutes. All right.
worthwhile risk. Unfortunately, I don't have a feel-good solution for you.
Someone said DRM-based love. Imagine you get charged a tax to bring your AI bot to different countries. What the hell? Hey, you want to travel to Europe? That's going to be $1,000 to fly your chatbot with you. We have to authenticate. It's for your own safety, citizen. The future looks, you can just, it's like making money left and right. I'm telling you.
I personally think Gen Z and younger millennial men may be a lost cause, but something we can do is instill better self-worth in the men of Gen Alpha. That's the generation that comes after Gen Z. Because if not, this will be the end. We are already at 63% of men under 30 who have just left the dating market. If we don't change course now, that statistic will reach 100% in no time. If you think I'm off base at all, I am open to criticism.
Calm down, sis. It's not going to 100%. That's just not possible. There's always going to be men women are fighting for. Interesting.